So the Dearica Hamby lawsuit is happening right now. And again, as I've said a bunch of times, if this is something that is true, it's not a good look on the Aces. It's not a good look on Becky Hammon. It's not a good look on the WNBA. Again, it could all be false. For all we know, this could be all nonsense. But there's at least some truth in this. So it will be interesting. And if you agree that if this is true, Hamby really did get screwed, subscribe, which had 26.3k subscribers by the end of the day. But the WNBA's Player Association have responded. So this is what they said. We reiterate our previous position, and in 2020 collective bargaining agreement, player parents gained protections that ensured becoming a parent did not mean the end of their career. Obviously, these protections did not change the nature of the business. Any team can trade any player for any legitimate reason or no reason at all. But that reason can never be on the basis of race, gender, sexual orientation, parental status, or pregnancy status. So, I think what they've come out and said, I don't understand what... They've basically said the teams don't need a reason to trade somebody, but they can't trade someone because they're pregnant. So, from the WNBA Players Association perspective, it does sound like they have taken the side, because it's very clear, like, if what Hamby's saying is true, this whole thing is nonsense. This whole thing doesn't matter, because it is, one, it didn't end her career, and two, it literally says that reason can't be based on pregnancy status. Like, this is a whole bunch of words for that, and I want to see what people are saying about this on Reddit. And again, look, Reddit comments don't mean anything. Feels like a bunch of words don't say much. It says read the employee handbook and leave it out of it. Not sure if the union has access to whatever evidence was gathered as part of the investigation. Utterly toothless statement from the union representing players. If one of your members is alleging this, a proper union will be bringing fire and brimstone to detention of obliterating defendants. I can't believe how weak this was. And yeah, I will say, and like, this is a bit different than the Skylar Diggins-Smith situation. But this is crazy. For me, this is kind of crazy where it's like, if the WNBA suspended Becky Hammon, there has to be something. That's just my perspective on it. I could be completely wrong. But surely there has to be something if Becky Hammon got suspended. If there was nothing and they suspended a coach for 2 games, that just wouldn't make any sense, really. And it wouldn't be right. And then Becky Hammon was completely screwed over. But I don't think that's the case. But it's very, very soft, because this is the players' union. And if you know anything about the WNBA, as far as, like, there's a reason why Dejanay Carrington came out and called this an activist league. That they have their own activism committee. And this is a player that has alleged that they were discriminated against on the basis of them being pregnant. And it does seem very hypocritical that you've got players demanding other players do other things, speak out about some things, whereas even your players' union are refusing to even make a statement. And the worst part is that they said a whole bunch of words, and the last 2 words, this last line right here, they basically are trying to cover the Aces. The Players Association are trying to cover the team, while also basically saying that what the team have appeared to have done is wrong. Which isn't a good look. It's not a good look at all. You can put out a statement like this, and even if you're trying to defend the team, even a couple of lines you could have just said, we're taking this very seriously, and if action will be taken if what Dearica Hamby has accused the Aces of is true. But no, this looks like pure mumbo jumbo from the NBA trying to defend a franchise. Mainly because said franchise has got A'ja Wilson on it, who, it's a horrible look as well that A'ja Wilson, more so than anybody, Candace Parker did as well, but Candace Parker's not in the league anymore, that A'ja Wilson came out during this situation to defend Becky Hammon. And look, I don't think there's any major, I think what the Aces have been accused of, as much as trading her, telling her while she was a member of the team she had to leave the housing they provided her, cutting tuition for her daughter while she was still on the team, and then forcing her teammates to not speak to her while she was still a member of the team. Like, that is that's as bad a look as anything. And look, if that's true, the Aces are in a world of trouble. The Aces are in a world of trouble. But I also don't know how much. And I will say, I don't know how much the like hatred is there because, well, like, she's in Unrivaled. It's not like she wasn't in Unrivaled, but at the same time, if you're looking at players in Unrivaled, and I'm like, the Aces players that are in it, Jackie Young didn't say anything, Chelsea Gray in that interview didn't say anything, and then Kelsey Plum spoke in circles for 30 seconds and didn't say a word. She didn't say a word supporting Becky Hammond. She didn't say a word like saying anything negative about Dearica Hamby. But then also Hamby has come out there and destroyed the Aces every time she's played against them this season. But it is an all-around sad situation. This just isn't a good response. It's just not a good response at all from the Players Association, because it does very much look like you're taking the side of the team, or especially because you very clearly stated that if what Dearica Hamby says is true, it's against the CBA. That the Ace, what they've done is against the CBA. If what Hamby's saying is true, you don't need to say all of this stuff. These protections did not change the nature of this business. You've basically said, it doesn't matter what our protections are, we're not changing anything. You've taken the side of the Aces, you've taken the side of, I don't know, because the Aces seem to be part of that club. You got your Aja Wilsons, you've got half of Team USA on that team. I don't know, like, it's not the greatest look in the world, I will say. I want to see what people are saying on Twitter. Again, what people are saying on Twitter and Reddit makes no odds. I just want to see how people are responding. Yeah. Aja Wilson was most disappointed about the fact that Becky Hammond missing 2 games disrupted the team. Get some money. Not a great look. So to issue a statement saying guilty as charged, like, I read it very differently. I read that very differently. I read that as 2/3 of it trying to say the Aces can do whatever they want, and then also then stating the rule. So, I don't know. I really don't know what way this is going to happen, but I think she's going to make quite a lot of money. Seems like an effortless sweep. So you can trade Adley for any reason or no reason at all, unless it's based on pregnancy status. Therefore, Hamby asked Hammond if it was because she was pregnant. Hammond didn't respond. To be fair, if she responded, what am I supposed to do? She kind of did, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe, to be fair, maybe the Players Association are trying to cover their ass, but if what Hamby's saying is true, Hamby is going to win a lot of money, and a lot of people high up in that Aces organization are going to be fired. That's all I can say. Regardless of what the response is, Hamby is going to be there's going to be a retirement. Or not retirement. Like, Hamby's going to be paid, and there's going to be a lot of people fired. And thankfully, her career is not over. Thankfully, she was an all-star this year. But it is just a crazy out situation. And I think it's just the timing of this for the WNBA is awful, because not as much as anything that it does, especially when you're hearing the players that won't speak out about anything, whereas they'll go out of their way to go at Caitlin Clark, and of all people, Aja Wilson attacked Caitlin Clark because she got a shoe deal when Aja Wilson knew she had a shoe deal about to be there, and she knew she was going to get a shoe before Caitlin Clark, and complaining about, like, quote tweeting stuff about her needing a shoe deal first. It's not a good look, especially because there are a lot of new eyes, and there are a lot of new eyes that are brought in, and the new eyes are like, we just want to watch basketball, and the players are coming out, no, we're activists, and then they're silent on this. Like, I think this is a much different situation than everything else, because this is a legal issue. If Hamby's telling the truth, she's going to make a lot of money, but it's not a good look for the entirety of the league, that the entirety of the league is staying silent on this, and even the Players Association, it does seem like they're almost trying to, in this take. You can read this as Aces guilty as charged, or you can read this as they can trade for whatever reason or no reason. You can either read this as we're trying to make the Aces innocent, or you can read this as guilty as charged. And the fact that it can be probably read both ways just shows that it's people using the word spineless. Yeah, especially for a league that prides itself on being an activist league, taking this soft a stance on this is not a good look at all.